Good morning, I'm Samriddhi K.C. and these are the headlines of the hour. Government prepares to end the current session of the Federal Parliament by the end of March without passing sufficient laws, pre-budget discussions to be skipped. Consumer Court opens 9 years after the Constitution's promulgation and 6 years after laws enacted. Chief Justice says it will be easier for distressed consumers to receive justice. At least 19 people killed after US launches airstrikes on Yemen's Houthi. Attacks come after Houthis threaten to resume attacks on Israel-linked ships in Red Sea over total blockade of Gaza. And Real Madrid triumphs over Villarreal by 2-0 and moved 3 points clear atop the Spanish league. Mbappe powers the team to the win. Welcome back. The fifth session of the Federal Parliament is set to end without making sufficient progress on legislation. The government initially announced that the session, which began on 31st of January, would focus on lawmaking. A facilitation task force was formed by the ruling Congress and UML to support this effort. However, due to the government's ordinance, other bills could not be discussed. Despite delays in the winter session, the government has been unable to advance key bills and is now preparing to conclude the session by the end of March without holding pre-budget discussions.
The Consultative Committee of the House of Representatives has prioritized passing the Ordinance Replacement Bill by the deadline of 28th of March. In the meantime, there will be a question and answer session with the Prime Minister and some bills are set to be sent for committee discussions. The Parliament is also preparing to conclude its session before the Speaker departs for an Inter-Parliamentary Union Conference in Uzbekistan on April 5th. The laws has been amended to allow pre-budget discussion in the House a month before the budget is presented, and efforts are being made to begin these discussions by 27th of April. As a result, the leaders of the ruling party have acknowledged that the law has not been enacted.
यो पाँचवटा विधेयक पारित गरिसकेका छौं नियमित कोर्समा रहेका विधेयकहरु पनि 3टा देखि 4टा हाउसबाट चाहिँ हामी कानुन निर्माणको तहमा पुर्याउँछौं भन्ने हामी विश्वास छौं त्यस हिसाबले विचार काम गर्छौं 5वटा प्रतिस्थापन विधेयक यो पारित गर्छौं अब यही हिसाबकै बाउन्ड्रीमा हामी काम गर्ने अवस्था छ समयको चापले गर्दा अलि धेरै अपेक्षा गरेको संख्यामा विधेयक पारित गर्ने तहमा पुग्न गाह्रो छ कि भन्ने चाहिँ हामीलाई देखिएको छ.
Parliament is under pressure to pass the Ordinance Replacement Bill. The 5 Ordinance Replacement Bills introduced by the government must be approved by both houses of the Parliament before 31st of March and also endorsed by the President. In this regard, the Ordinance Amendment Bill is set to be passed by the House through a streamlined procedure without being discussed in committee.
हामीले प्रतिपक्षीय मत दर्ज गर्ने एउटा कुरा भयो हामीले त्यो राख्ने एउटा कुरा भयो तर फेरि सरकारको कामकारबारलाई अप्ठ्यारोमै पार्ने र त्यो त्यसको चाहिँ नि त्यसको वैधानिकता नै गुमाउन दिन चाहिँ त्यो हुँदैन भन्ने लाग्छ. हामीले पुरा गरेका छौं संवादमा छौं मन्त्रीहरु सम्बन्धित मन्त्रीहरु नै संशोधनकर्ताहरुसँग बस्ने सम्मको कुरा भएपछि सहकार्य बनाइएको थियो.
When the session began, the government had announced plans to pass bills on federal civil service, school education, and the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority. However, the chances of passing any of these bills are now low. The pre-budget discussions intended to ensure genuine inclusion of all sectors in the budget preparation could not be held on time.
सुरुवातको क्षणमा चाहिँ जुन उत्साहका साथ हामी विधेयक पास गर्छौं भनेर अगाडि बढाएको थियौं त्यो उत्साह चाहिँ पूरा हुने देखिएन. अब फेरि हामीलाई अर्को पनि दबाब चाहिँ केमा परिसक्यो भने सभामुख 22 गते सभामुख जाने विदेश र सभामुख जानु भन्दा अगाडि संसद बन्द गर्ने स्थिति हुन्छ सायद र त्यसपछि फर्केर आएपछि तत्कालै फेरि संसद बोलाइएन भने प्री बजेट छलफल चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ त्यसपछि नीति तथा कार्यक्रममा जानुपर्ने हुन्छ. यो सबै कुराले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब संसद बन्द गर्ने दबाब पनि त्यति नै पर्न जान्छ. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो अधिवेशनबाट सोचे जस्तो विधेयक चाहिँ आउन सकेन.
Following criticism that unnecessary laws were not being enacted due to the inefficiency of Parliament, the Parliament Secretariat introduced the practice of creating a calendar to guide progress. However, legislative work has weakened as the House remains distracted by political issues.
For over 30 years, efforts have been made to promote consumer rights and ensure clean markets, but little progress has been made. Consumer fraud remains prevalent, and despite the establishment of a consumer court to address more efficiently, the agencies responsible are still slow in their actions. Furthermore, a comprehensive consumer awareness program has yet to be implemented.
The discussion on consumer rights has been ongoing for over 30 years, with the government observing World Consumer Rights Day annually. Despite these efforts, consumer fraud persists. However, the recent establishment of a consumer court is expected to help address issues related to the quality of goods and services. Chief Justice Prakash Man Singh Raut highlighted that this court will introduce consumer jurisprudence in Nepal.
गुणस्तरीय सेवा र वस्तुको प्रयोगबाट पीडित पक्ष हुन सक्दछ। यस्तोमा सन्तुलित न्याय गर्ने कुरा यस अदालतको विशेष जिम्मेदारीमा पर्ने अवस्था रहन्छ। तसर्थ यहाँहरूलाई प्रारम्भमा विश्वास गर्दै स्थापित हुनुपर्ने जिम्मेदारी पनि छ। यहाँहरूकै कार्य सम्पादनबाट आगामी दिनमा उपभोक्ता अदालतहरू थप विस्तार हुँदै जाने सम्भावना रहन्छ र यो दैनिक व्यावहारिक जनजीवनसँग जोडिने आम सर्वसाधारणको अदालतको रूपमा पनि रहन सक्दछ।
The government has set up a special consumer court to handle consumer-related cases, with Ram Prasad Sharma as the chairperson and Gehendra Regmi and Anand Pokhrel as members. While Nepal has established its consumer court 3.5 decades after neighboring India, the role of regulatory agencies as well as provincial and local authorities in ensuring broader consumer rights remains limited.
उपभोक्ता सचेतना अझै हुनुपर्ने अवस्था छ। एउटा प्रदेश स्तरमा प्रदेशले कुनै पनि प्रदेशले यो उपभोक्ता संरक्षण ऐन जारी गरेका छैनन्, जबकि उनीहरूको सङ्घ प्रदेशता स्थानीय तह अन्तर सम्बन्ध ऐनको तहतबाट प्रत्येक प्रदेशले एकवटा ऐन चाहिँ जारी गर्नुपर्छ। त्यो भएको छैन। अनि अर्को सबै स्थानीय तहले स्थानीय बजार व्यवस्थापन तथा उपभोक्ता संरक्षण ऐन चाहिँ बनाउनु पर्ने हो। त्यो अहिले पनि भएको छैन।
आज उपभोक्ता अदालत गठन भएपछि सबै कुरा ठिक छ भनेर भन्न सकिने अवस्था छ र छैन। कारण यो पनि हो कि हामी उपभोक्ता पनि सचेत छैनौँ। जसले उजुरी गर्नुपर्छ यो अदालतमा आएर त्यसले उजुरी कसरी गर्ने पनि थाहा छैन।
वास्तविक उपभोक्ता अदालत चाहिँ उपभोक्ताको अदालत हो भन्ने किसिमको भान पार्नको निमित्त वस्तु र सेवा क्षेत्रमा पीडित भएका सबै नुनदेखि सुनसम्म हलोदेखि हाइड्रोसम्मका मुद्दाहरूलाई एड्रेस गर्यो भने यो अदालत स्थापनाको सार्थकता पाउन सक्छ। होइन भने हामीले संविधानमा मौलिक हकको कुरा गरियो, छुट्टै विभागको कुरा गरियो, कानुनको कुरा गरियो, नीति नियम मापदण्डका कुरा गरियो, तर प्राप्त गर्न सकियो त सकेनन्। त्यसकारणले वास्तवमै लक्षित वर्गलाई चाहिँ सेवा जारी गरेर दृढ इच्छाशक्ति अघि बढ्यो भने प्राप्त गर्न सकिन्छ, होइन भने सकिँदैन।
Consumers often report being cheated on goods and services, yet fraud persists due to weak laws. The government continues to assert that the market is secure and well-regulated through its agency's monitoring efforts. However, the agency responsible for market regulation and handling consumer cases in court remains ineffective.
संघीय विभागीय निकायहरूले विषयगत अनुगमनमा ध्यान केन्द्रित गरेका छन् भने वाणिज्य आपूर्ति तथा उपभोक्ता संरक्षण विभागले अन्तर विषयगत क्षेत्रमा हस्तक्षेप कार्य अनुगमन गरिरहेको छ।
In addition to issues related to goods and services, the challenges surrounding digital rights are also growing in the evolving global landscape. Attorney General Ramesh Badal emphasized that these concerns should also be addressed by the Consumer Court.
यहाँबाट च्याट जीपीटीलाई सर्च गर्दै थिएँ। यो आज 2025 को चाहिँ उपभोक्ता विश्व उपभोक्ता दिवस, यसको चाहिँ मेन इस्युहरू चाहिँ के रहेछ भनेर भन्दाखेरि आजको सबभन्दा ठुलो इस्यु चाहिँ डिजिटल कन्ज्युमरहरूको चाहिँ राइटको भायोलेसन चाहिँ सबभन्दा ठुलो विषयवस्तु रहेछ। डिजिटल कन्ज्युमर अब त्यो विषय हाम्रो यो अदालतको परिधिभित्र आइपुग्छ त।
With the establishment of the Consumer Court, it is now essential for the government to focus on raising consumer awareness and improving access to justice regarding goods and services.
Welcome back. Maitighar has been a go-to place to hold demonstration protest rally in Kathmandu Valley. So far this year alone, 1,086 demonstrations has taken place at this location. Holding demonstrations in the middle of the city, especially on a very busy road, has caused hardships for the thousands of citizens. A total of 7 protests were held at Maitighar last Friday. In the name of ensuring safety to the citizens participating in the protest, the administration closed the sub-lanes leading from Baneshwar towards Thapathali, diverting traffic onto the main road. As Maitighar has become an alternative to Khula Manch for any kind of protest, traffic management is facing significant challenges. The security of Singha Darbar, the country's main administrative hub located nearby, has also been compromised. Demonstrators are also forced to held protests by blocking roads in the middle of the city like Kathmandu, and no agency has designated a space for such protests and demonstrations. The US has launched a decisive and powerful wave of airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen. President Donald Trump has cited the armed group's attack on shipping in the Red Sea as the reason. The Houthi-run health ministry said at least 19 people were killed and several others injured in the strikes. The group, which began targeting shipping in response to the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza, said its forces would respond to the US strikes. The Houthis reported a series of explosions on Saturday evening in Sana'a and in the northern province of Sada, the rebel stronghold on the border with Saudi Arabia. The Iranian-backed rebel group, which considers Israel its enemy, controls Sana'a and the northwest of Yemen, but it is not the country's internationally recognized government. In a statement, the Houthis blamed the US and the UK for the wicked aggression targeting residential areas in the Yemeni capital, Sana'a, though it is understood that the UK did not participate in Saturday's US strikes against the Houthi targets, but it did not provide routine refueling support for the US. Since November 2023, the Houthis have targeted dozens of merchant vessels with missiles, drones and small boat attacks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. They have sunk 2 vessels, seized a third and killed 4 crew members. Israeli protesters took to the streets of Tel Aviv yesterday to demand the government to negotiate hostage deal and ceasefire with Hamas. Thousands of protesters gathered near the Army and Defense Ministry headquarters, chanting slogans and carrying banners. Simultaneously, relatives of the hostages and other protesters gathered at the hostage square, also demanding the release of their family members. On Friday, Hamas said it had agreed to free an American-Israeli dual national if Israel begins the next phase of ceasefire talks towards a permanent end to the war, and offer Israel dismissed as psychological warfare. Hamas said it had made the offer to release a 21-year-old soldier in the Israeli army, New Jersey native Eden Alexander, after receiving a proposal from mediators for negotiation on the second phase. Israel said it wants to extend the ceasefire's temporary first phase, a proposal backed by U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff. Hamas says it will resume freeing hostages only under the second phase. The war began when Hamas carried out a cross-border raid into southern Israel on October 7, 2023, killing 1,200 people and capturing 251 hostages. According to Gaza health officials, Israel's subsequent assault on Gaza has killed more than 48,000 Palestinians, reduced much of its territory to rubble, and led to the accusations of genocide and war crimes that Israel denies. Havana on Saturday remained mostly without power as night fell due to a collapse on Cuba's electric grid the night before, knocking out electricity for 10 million people and raising fresh questions about the viability of its antiquated generating system. Only a few buildings such as hotels, Cuban government buildings and the US Embassy had light. The dark streets were mostly illuminated by the headlights of cars driving by Cuba's. Cuba's grid failed Friday on evening around 8:15 p.m. after an aging component of transmission line at a substation in Havana shorted, beginning a chain reaction that completely shut down power generation across the island, as per the officials. The grid collapse follows a string of nationwide blackouts late last year that plunged Cuba's frail power generating system into near total disarray, stressed by fuel shortages, natural disaster and economic crisis. Officials said on Saturday morning they had begun the process of firing up the country's decades-old generation plants, but gave no timeline for restoring the service. Dozens of demonstrators attended a protest outside the Mexican presidential palace in Mexico City yesterday to demand answers from the government regarding the recent discovery of a mass grave site in a ranch in the western state of Jalisco that is believed to be linked to the country's violent drug gangs. Families looking for disappeared relatives, members of non-profit organizations and protesters laid out on the ground shoes representing the nearly 400 pairs of footwear discovered at the ranch in Teochitlan, Jalisco State. The discovery of the place, which also included cremation ovens, was made by a civilian activist group. Mexico's Attorney General Alejandro Gertz Manero pledged on March 11 to conduct a full investigation. In 2024, the NGO Mexicanos contra la Corruption, or Mexicans Against Corruption, published a report that showed that 1,100 have been reported since missing 1962. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has said military planning to protect a potential Ukraine ceasefire is moving to an operational phase after a virtual meeting with 29 other world leaders. He emphasized that military leaders will meet in London on Thursday to put strong and robust plans in place to swing behind a peace deal and guarantee Ukraine's future security. The meeting follows Ukraine agreeing to a 30-day ceasefire after talks with the US President, and Russian President Vladimir Putin says he agrees with the idea but set a number of preconditions for peace. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who joined Saturday's meeting, said active pressure is needed, not just talks. He urged European countries to produce their own weapons as soon as possible and to talk to the US and its President Donald Trump to reach a deal more quickly through full sanctions, strong pressure, and forcing Russia to make peace. Participants in Saturday's call included NATO, the European Union, nearly 24 of European countries, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.